Picture this. You walk into a bank with just $300. The teller barely glances up, and you feel completely invisible standing there. Now imagine walking in with $25 million sitting in your account. Suddenly, private bankers already know your name before you even say a word. That gap right there tells the entire story of banking in America. It's not really about money at all. It's about power and perception. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your bank the same. Most people think banks are neutral, just boxes that hold their paycheck. But banks are businesses, and businesses always chase their most profitable customers. If you have less money, you actually cost the bank more to serve. Small balances and basic checking accounts barely generate any real profit at all. So the system quietly nudges you towards fees, minimums, and automation instead. This isn't a personal insult. It's simply how big institutions allocate attention. Meanwhile, wealthier clients generate steady fees through investments, loans, and private services. That profit difference quietly shapes how every single customer gets treated daily. Think about how anxious a low credit score can make someone feel. That anxiety isn't really about the number. It's about feeling constantly judged. Picture a father quietly declined for a loan in front of his kids. That moment isn't about interest rates. It's about dignity and self-worth. Let's start at zero, or close to it, living paycheck to paycheck. At this stage, banks mostly interact with you through fees and warnings. Overdraft charges and minimum balance penalties are built around your financial stress. It feels personal, but it's really just an algorithm reacting to numbers. A single overdraft fee can cost more than a week of groceries. Banks make billions of dollars every single year purely from these fees. Now move up to $10,000 or $20,000 sitting in savings. Suddenly, you qualify for slightly better cards and noticeably fewer annoying fees. The bank starts seeing you as someone finally worth keeping around now. Cross into six figures, and the entire relationship tone shifts quite noticeably. Now, a real person calls you back instead of an automated system. They offer mortgage advice, investment options, and small perks like waived fees. This is where most middle-class Americans quietly interact with their bank. Between $250,000 and $500,000, banks offer wealth management. This tier is often called mass affluent, a label banks use internally. You're not rich yet, but you're finally worth targeted marketing and outreach. Advisors start calling about retirement accounts, college savings, and smart diversification options. A higher credit score can lower your mortgage rate by a full %. Over 30 years, that single % can mean tens of thousands saved. So wealthier people aren't just treated better, they're literally charged less money. Once you reach $1 million, everything changes almost overnight, quite dramatically. You get assigned a dedicated advisor who studies your entire financial life. They call you first, before problems happen, not after they already occurred. Here's something fascinating the ultra-wealthy quietly understand about banks and borrowing. Instead of selling investments, they simply borrow against them at low rates. Banks happily lend against assets because the risk is incredibly low for them. This strategy quietly avoids certain taxes while keeping the portfolio fully invested. Between 5 and 10 million, banks assign entire teams to your account. Tax specialists, estate planners, and investment strategists all coordinate around your goals. At this level, the bank treats losing you as an actual emergency. Now imagine $25 million, where private banking fully opens up. At this level, banks compete aggressively just to manage your entire portfolio. You get custom interest rates, tax strategies, and access to private investments. The bank isn't just serving you now, it's actively competing to keep you. At $25 million, banks even offer access to exclusive investment opportunities. Private jets, exclusive real estate deals, and pre-IPO shares become available. None of this gets advertised publicly. It's shared quietly through personal relationships. Here's the psychological twist most people never really stop to think about. Banks aren't just reacting to your money. They're reacting to your confidence. The wealthy aren't treated better because they're smarter or morally superior people. They're treated better because the system profits more from serving them well. This doesn't mean the system is fair, because honestly, it really isn't. But understanding the mechanics takes away its power to make you feel small. This isn't about being ashamed of struggling. It's about understanding hidden incentives. Every fee you've ever paid was calculated to maximize the bank's own profit. Meanwhile, every perk a wealthy client receives serves that exact same purpose. It's the same game, just played with completely different rules and stakes. Knowing this can quietly shift how you interact with every financial institution. You stop feeling small, and you start feeling informed and quietly empowered. Once you see this clearly, the shame around struggling starts fading away. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's simply how capitalism operates quietly. That realization alone can lower financial anxiety more than any budgeting app. Money stress often has less to do with math and more with meaning. We attach identity, safety, and love to numbers that were never personal. Once you separate your worth from your balance, everything starts feeling lighter. So, what can you actually do with this information in real life? First, stop expecting your bank to genuinely care about your personal situation. Treat it like a useful tool, not a relationship built on emotional trust. Consider a credit union, since they often prioritize members over pure profit. Building a real relationship with a local branch manager can genuinely help. Second, focus on steadily building your own financial cushion, no matter how small. Every $1,000 saved quietly shifts how systems eventually start responding to you. Automate your savings so growth happens quietly, without requiring constant daily willpower. Even $50 a month compounds into something meaningful over many years. Third, don't feel intimidated asking questions, no matter your current account balance. You're allowed to negotiate fees, ask for better rates, and switch banks. None of this requires becoming wealthy overnight or chasing unrealistic financial shortcuts. It simply requires understanding the game clearly enough to stop feeling powerless. At the end of the day, money has never been purely about numbers. It's about psychology, perception, and the quiet stories we tell ourselves daily. Whether you have $300 or $25 million, you deserve clarity. You deserve to understand exactly how these systems quietly shape your life. Progress will always matter more than perfection, especially when it comes to money. So keep going, keep learning, and keep building, one small step at a time. You're doing better than you think, and that quiet progress truly does count.